Sophie Rain and Ken Matthews get married in Kabul.
You're about to see another era of Money Mike.
Wow, that's sick.
I go and check our security cameras, and there's some kids whipping around our drift track.
Huge underwear, blowed out.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Hey, let me see.
That was like a traumatic experience, I think, for us all.
Don't forget, this is the last week of our Lambo giveaway, so get entered at CboysTV.com.
Every $5 you spend gets you one entry, and you get your choice between a Lamborghini Huracan or a Lamborghini Urus and $25,000 cash. So
we got new golf polos on there, new hats. We have some jerseys.
I love the jerseys.
Bunch of stuff.
Yeah, bunch of stuff for
stuff.
the end of the drop. So ramp it up, boys and girls.
Our website, CboysTV.com, is powered by Shopify. We love it. It's easy to make changes, and it's easy to make our website look this good. And spread the word about your brand with built-in marketing and email tools to find and keep new customers. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it is your time to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period and start selling today at shopify.com/wide-open. Go to shopify.com/wide-open. That is shopify.com/wide-open.
dude, what's up with you? You just want to dress like us or what? You pull up, you're wearing my tank, and
Well,
then
it's our tank.
my tank.
I guess CJ's claiming that. Then he puts the same hat I had on.
Dude just
I
wants to
thought
be
you were
like
gonna wear
us,
your
huh?
Ben Roth special. We're still trying to come up with a name for that, by the way.
Yeah, I'll go put that on.
What's the Ben Roth special?
It's just like it's the brown and tan hat with orange life wide open that Ben had wore for like months. I swear is the hat he wore more than any other hat. And then we're like, well, we should probably make it since he won't stop wearing it. Okay. All right. We're back.
All right, we're good.
That's the hat we were talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That
Have a
looks
hat
little better with
named
that
after you.
anyways. Man, Ben, what size is that T-shirt?
This is a large, but I came from the gym, CJ. I haven't seen you there, actually. Where have you been?
Sleeping.
You have been. So we've been on this fitness kick. We were supposed to do a bodybuilder show last Saturday. So we'd been training for 100 days to do this show on June 6th. And we ended up canceling it and pushing it back to like the end of summer just because like it's kind of like a conflict of scheduling with like half the crew was going to be in like Texas at like weddings, and we had like a bunch of different things going on. And then the other reason was like I felt like we were finally making some like progression. Like some of the crew has been like in the gym hitting it pretty hard, and it would have just kind of felt like we were like half-assing it just to like abide by this like 100-day fitness challenge, right? But there wouldn't have been like any like real substantial gains.
Yeah, I really thought after 100 days of dedication, I would have like an 8-pack and like look really good. Like I truly did. I was like, dude, we got a trainer. He's going to get us on a diet, and I am just going to like morph into this jacked guy. I really thought it was going to happen in 100 days. And this shit's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I've been moderately locked in. I don't know if I could say I've been fully locked in. But I mean, it's amazing how hard it is to have a mid physique.
Yeah. I mean, I was skeptical about 100 days being enough. And then when I was asking the few trainers that we had talked to, they were like, oh, 100 days more than enough. And I'm like, really? Because like I've been lifting weights since I was in the 9th grade. It does not seem like enough time to really make some substantial gains. And honestly, it was like, you guys don't really realize it, but you've definitely added a lot of muscle. And like, I mean, even from the first day to like now, how much more weight you're pushing. And like Ken is slimming down so much. Like everyone is talking about that. I think just giving more time for this is only going to make it better. And it's just also going to instill more of a routine of working out in everyone. Like Ken freaking is dedicated.
Ken's on.
Yeah.
He's on it.
So
He
on
gets up every day at like 7:30. He's already at the gym. Like he doesn't care if you guys are going or not. He's there. He's lifting weights. He's running. He's doing stuff. And if he can't do that, he's freaking riding on the stationary bike. Like I love to see it. Like I'm proud of you, Ken.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you too, Ken.
Days we've been home, I haven't missed a day in like a while.
But you've been going when we're on vacation, right?
Yeah, like I went to the gym and left my card out in Washington, so.
Oh,
Get a
dang.
replacement.
Oh, yeah. You went to the Snap Fitness out in Washington. How was that?
They had some good-looking girls there.
Really?
Really?
Because, you know, normally it's just a bunch of dudes at the gym we go to,
Yeah.
and that one was like all chicks, and they were all really good-looking.
So much
Really?
so that Ken had to update us in the group chat. That was my favorite part.
That
He
is-
fires in, yo, the birds here are insane.
Dude, yeah, if you want to find a hot chick, like going to a gym is a pretty good place to start.
That is a controversial statement because girls don't want to get hit on at the gym. is
it's
a
pretty
thing.
tough.
Yeah,
But
I
at
would
least
say-
if you could maybe make a connection and then you would see them somewhere else at like a coffee shop or a place where girls want to get
Right,
hit on.
right.
I don't know. Where is that?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Where do girls want to get hit on?
That's a good question.
Probably nowhere, but there is definitely ways in the gym. Like if they're eyeballing you, then maybe you go and talk to them, or like you somehow work into like, hey, you done with that piece of equipment? Oh no, I have one set left. Oh, okay. Yeah, I love this piece of equipment. I always work out on this. You know, that'd be like a good starting line.
Damn,
for you
dude.
guys.
Word for
And
word
that's
that.
how the women.
Yeah.
That's how. Yeah, that's how CJ used to get all of his chicks.
Piece of
I
equipment.
used to work at a gym.
I know. That's why I
I
was
used to work
saying
at
that.
a gym. That was more of a sarcastic. I've been reading the comments. Sometimes people don't pick up on my sarcasm, so I have to really let
You
you
have
know
to
I was being
preface.
sarcastic, because
Yeah.
I can already read the comment. That is the worst pickup line ever. I can't believe CJ would actually think that's a good idea.
I don't think people realize CJ's funny.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Ryan.
and
I've- yeah.
I'm gonna say this. This is actually has nothing to do with CJ. Like sometimes someone will hit me with, "Damn, like you can't pick up sarcasm, you of all people," and I'm like, "What if it just wasn't funny?"
Oh.
I did pick up the sarcasm. It's full blown. That has nothing to do with you. I
was
just
gonna
like
say-
sometimes it's like, dude, you can't
Yeah.
read sarcasm, and you're like, no, I can. It's just
Dude,
wasn't
Mike
fun.
doesn't let anything slide.
Yeah,
You know,
I know.
serious Mike.
Serious Mike.
But no, Ken, I am very proud of you, and I feel like we're in like this good routine that if we would have gotten this show done with, we probably would have all just inherently been like, you know, it's whatever, you know, we don't have anything to like work towards like as
Yeah.
much, and then we probably would have stopped going as hard. So I feel like pushing it back another 3 months or so, you know, we can just like continue to like burn that routine in, and then after it's done, it's gonna hopefully stick more, and we can just keep at it.
Yeah, no. So the reason I haven't been at the gym is because we were gifted a 2,700 pound marble statue. So we're trying to move it. There was like 7 of us, and we just had to move it literally an inch. Everyone was pushing as hard as they could, and I thought to myself, I've got to have a little bit more left. And I was kind of pushing at a weird angle, and I like tore something in my shoulder. This was like
That's how you did it?
yeah. This was like a month ago. I hate telling the story because like whenever anyone asks like, oh, like how'd you hurt your shoulder? Like anyone else, I'm
It's
just
hard
like,
to explain.
I just go, long story. It's nothing crazy.
I overexerted myself
Yeah.
lifting something that was way too heavy.
Yeah.
People
What was
understand
it?
that. Yeah, yeah.
It was
true.
a hand chiseled marble statue of a
okay.
Greek god holding a life wide open
Okay.
sign and a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that's funny. I thought it was for sure from like actually working out.
No, but I started getting back into it just last Friday.
I bet it was driving you crazy. I mean, you're in the gym way more than all of us on a routine.
Yeah, I know.
And then
And
now
it's
we
like, now we're actually doing it for a purpose and for filming, and
And you gotta
I
sit
can't
on
even freaking do it. I tried going, and it just was getting worse and worse. So I was like, I just got to give it a break, and it worked out really nice because then we ended up pushing it out. So if we're doing this in September, like we have serious amount of time to like make some gains, especially if you guys just stay going 5 days a week. You're probably gonna be able to look like most of the guys up there.
Well, I don't know if I'd quite say that, but it is funny how like it's just kind of a snowball. Like the first 2 months, you don't really see much progression, and then like I'd say in the last month, you really start to see it.
The plateaus are what's tough, dude. Like I get going, I feel really good, and then you hit like 3 weeks where you just feel like you're not doing anything. And then like a week goes by and you're like, oh, okay, I see it, or I feel good again.
You know who hasn't been hitting the gym with us?
me.
Well, Mike,
I gotta say that. I've been losing weight, but I have not been putting on muscle.
Evan. I mean, we've said this, but Evan prides himself on being anti-gym. He thinks they're Cheeto.
Jim.
And before
And-
we go in on him, he could be here to defend himself.
He would, but yeah, he wouldn't disagree with me.
No, that's
He wouldn't disagree because he's trying to do the opposite for the video where he's like plumping up. I mean, we
I don't
kind
know
of
if he's trying.
we
to plump
kind of
up,
talked
but
about it
he's
in the
just
last video. Like,
rebelling.
you know, he's kind of got this little barrel on him that's just getting.
But he's doing what he does. The pushback. That's the pushback. He's like
Yeah, no
growing
matter
a
what we
barrel.
were doing, there'd be a push. Yeah.
Evan's workout has been going to the golf course as many nights as he can a week.
You could argue
He's-
that it's
he-
good walking, but
It's
he takes
not.
a golf
He
cart.
takes a golf cart and he drinks a cooler of
12
beer.
pack.
Yeah, and, like it's gotten to the point where is this that surprising? But like it's 18 holes and at least 6 beers, but that's just the pregame to like the rest of his night. Like every time he goes golfing, he basically comes back in rough shape.
Yeah, no,
easy to do.
it's
yeah, it is.
bad. But if he was here, he would agree. He's not trying to hop on this fitness train, which I personally think is hilarious. Like, I love that he's
I'm
just
happy
doing the
about it,
complete
yeah.
opposite
Yeah.
as us.
For once, I'm like, perfect. Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll cut
gotta
back
start
on it.
working out now.
The reverse psychology is insane.
But yeah, so beginning of October is our new date.
Works out good. So, Ken, what was the deal? We had some trespassers last night.
Yeah, so I was looking through my Instagram DMs this morning. Ken, some kids were on your property last night, the Drift compound, and I have proof and can provide you one of their names, and they posted it on their story.
Dumbass.
Oh, so someone else that wasn't there
Yeah,
was
some
ratting them out?
random kid. He said he basically ratted his friends out. So then I go and check our security cameras, and there's some kids whipping around our drift track at like 11 midnight last night.
Bro.
Drifting or just driving fast?
I didn't watch the video. I just saw there was a white CRV driving around it.
Dude, that's ballsy.
Can we pop it up? Put them on blast?
I mean, they were trespassing on our property.
They're
Anything
lucky they
towards
didn't hit a tree.
anything around midnight, that's another added little sketch.
No lights out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
We got
also like
car
there's a little
lights.
noise ordinance. Like, I mean, we don't slide around our track at 11 midnight.
It looks like they just more so drove through. I don't like that, though.
No, I don't like it. That is so far from whipping, but it's still trespassing.
Normally, someone's there that would be like, yo,
Oh, they hit the wall.
jump it.
Wait, then they were like, oh, shoot. It's
Yeah,
so
they
steep.
frame out.
Dude, imagine, you're doing that. You get framed out, and then their car's stuck there.
Don't go on our track, because if we catch you, we're going to have to trespass you and call the cops.
We've been talking about putting up all these no trespassing signs and all that. We just got to finally.
It's just more so the liability of it. Like, we don't want someone getting hurt. And for that, we just can't have random people going on our track, just like anyone who owns a track, just like Cletus, just like Axel Hodges isn't just having random people go out on his track. Like, you have to sign waivers for a reason. And also, it's just tracks can be dangerous, especially if you're going to be driving fast or whatever. So you have a likelihood of crashing, as we've seen many a times.
Yeah, no doubt. Pretty often, though, someone's there.
Yeah, I know. That was actually a rare occasion
Yeah.
to show up at that time
Yeah.
and then not have someone come out and be like, yo.
We had some other trespassers the other night on the
Oh, yeah.
drift track, too.
That same spot, pretty much.
They were a little bit more probably black and furry.
I was checking.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I was checking the cameras just to see if some stuff got delivered. I was in Texas at the time, and then like 30 minutes, motion detected, and then I was like, "What the?" 2 decent-sized black bears rolling around the drift track in
Shut up.
Birch Bay. They weren't like massive, but they were big.
What were they digging in the trash or just like strolling?
Just strolling, just walking through. Like, it legit looked like they made the stroll every other day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was to keep an eye out for them.
I love black bear sightings around here because like everyone is like they're like so elusive. It's still like very special for someone to actually catch a black bear on camera. Whereas like if you're in northern Minnesota, it's just like a raccoon running on your porch.
Yeah, they're
but
everywhere.
like down here, it's like it makes the whole local news. Like black bear spotted.
Do you think it's that they've always been here, but nobody had cameras? Like now, every single lake cabin has it minimum
for sure.
a Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Like, but even you go back like 8 years, nobody had Ring doorbells and stuff like that. So do you think it's just they're getting caught more often, or do you think they're
they've
here?
been here.
Yeah.
I think they've been here.
Yeah.
They're just elusive, like Ben was saying. And now that we got the cameras everywhere, it's like you just see them.
Seems like
But-
every single video of them, they're walking around at night, and it's pretty late. If it was during the day, they might be spotted, but at night, it's,
Yeah, that's true.
pretty
It's
tough
like
to tell.
coyotes. Like, you don't really see them unless you're looking for them.
I'm still not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure I saw a mountain lion probably like 8 years ago at this point. But it's still like those are like even crazier to see. There was some rumblings in the area that like there was one running around shortly after I think that I saw mine, but he was running across my driveway and it was like a flash and it was a big cat. Fairly certain it was a mountain lion, which is really scary.
Like they're bigger than dogs, right?
Like a big sized dog.
When you were hunting this year, didn't like a bobcat
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
yeah. And it just sat there and just stared at me.
We had a mountain lion around my house growing up, but it's kind of the same thing. It's like I think that I saw it, but we did find tracks.
Have you ever seen when like they have the multiple like hound dogs and they will like chase after the mountain lions?
Yeah, they run them up a
Pack
tree. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's like more common like out west,
No, I know, but-
mountain lion hunting.
You run them up trees?
Yeah. There's just like so many of them that the cat just can't take them on, and then they get so scared.
Look at this video of this guy. He's hunting, kind of like Ben was, and then the bobcat runs up the tree.
Up the tree he was in,
Next to him.
almost, yeah. Holy!
Oh, it takes
grabs
on a
a
squirrel.
Look at that dude. Imagine if it decided to come up in the tree he's in.
Oh man.
Man, that thing is fast.
Yeah, I climbed the tree in like a second.
I'd shoot it if it came up my tree.
I don't know if you could
can't.
that close. You would have to like no scope.
But that's true. You're
That was
not up there
pretty
with
big.
like a pistol, probably,
You
right?
don't think you could quick scope at the least?
360.
You could try. It'd probably be enough to scare it.
If you shopped online, the chances are that you have bought from a business that is powered by Shopify. You know the purple Shopify pay button you see at checkout? That is the one that makes buying so incredibly easy. That is Shopify. And there's a reason that so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes it incredibly easy to start and run your online business, either online or in store. Shopify gives you that leg up from day one with hundreds of beautiful ready-to-go templates that express your brand and style with no coding required. Our website, CboysTV.com, is powered by Shopify. We love it. It's easy to make changes, and it's easy to make our website look this good. And spread the word about your brand with built-in marketing and email tools to find and keep new customers. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it is your time to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period and start selling today at shopify.com/wide open. Go to shopify.com/wide open. That is shopify.com/wide open.
Okay, I just want to hand these out to you guys real quick. We got some fan mail from Jackson. He's 9 years old. Him and his dad like watching the podcast, so he sent us these. And I think he just sent us each cars that have to do with us.
No way. That's so nice.
Which
Individually
which is
wrapped.
always nice when a little kid gives away his Hot Wheels or gets Hot Wheels for you. Like, I
true.
wasn't trying to give up my Hot Wheels when I was 9 years old.
What'd you get there, Siege? Monster truck?
Yeah, I got a monster truck.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Ford Raptor.
Couple monster
Oh,
trucks.
classic. Ben got a Ford Raptor.
Hot dog car. There you go, Mike.
I got a hot dog.
Mine's pretty funny. I got a Bronco
Nice.
and a semi with a toilet on the back.
Wow.
This
That
kid's
is
funny.
very
What
on
the
brand.
hell? Did Chad GP or did freaking AI make that Hot Wheel?
How do you find a Hot Wheel with a toilet on
Is that
it?
Jeep?
Got a little Jeep Gladiator. He actually sent one for like everybody. This one says a Radio Flyer red wagon with a huge motor in it.
Oh, yeah, we got to get one of those.
Oh,
That is
a
sick.
lifted Mustang.
Nice.
Very nice.
This thing's way nicer than ours.
We got a Camaro here. We got Gavin. He likes three-wheelers. Sorry, Gavin's not here. A trike. Very nice. Thank you, Jackson. Dude, a bunch of three-wheelers.
Oh, wow.
Look
It
at
looks
that.
like the Twike.
It does.
Look at that.
We got one for
Hey, is a
Dalton.
plane considered a three-wheeler?
A plane? Yeah,
I mean, I
technically.
guess.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
three points of contact. Yeah, Gavin needs to start flying.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah, I bought a plane because it's three-wheeler.
I was actually just looking at my Hummer on the pole today. And dude, I kind of want to get that thing down. I
Yeah?
kind of want to bust it. I want to go back out on it.
We should take it down.
I think we should. Take it down safely, I think, is what I'd prefer to do.
That thing is a penthouse for animals right
I just
now.
want to see what the interior looks
I mean,
like more than anything.
allegedly. You
How
haven't
many years
been
have
up
been
there?
up there? 2
You got to
years?
think.
Yeah, 2 years up there.
Do you remember the smart car? Like the smart car interior literally just disintegrated.
Yeah,
By
well,
having the
this one's
windows
got
open.
everything open.
Yeah, so I think that interior, like, I don't think the seats are just going to be foam. I think the leather is just kind of like torn apart, I bet.
I don't know, man. Good Hummer leather. Built Hummer tough.
It's very risky, but I feel like the likelihood of it falling is also low. Someone should just sit up in that thing for a second, or just like get craned up and like stand on the roof for how iconic that picture would be.
True.
Would be. It's honestly a shame I didn't do it right off the bat.
No, I'm down. It's been up there for so long that
Like, yeah, it
it's-
hasn't fallen.
As
in a
long as you're not
storm,
jumping
nothing.
around,
Yeah.
I'm down to go up there.
You should have just closed the windows, I guess, in hindsight.
The back door was off it anyway. So, like,
Oh.
it was pretty cooked
But you-
regardless.
Probably would have helped.
It would have helped, but I mean, yeah, it's I never thought it would come back down. I never thought I'd miss it as much as I do.
Oh,
Like,
so
you
you
don't-
came into it like thinking that was permanent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's 17 feet in the air on a pole. I figured it wasn't coming down.
Cemented
know.
into the ground.
I just can't believe it hasn't blown down.
I know.
Same.
It's not welded up there. It's just straight up sitting on a pole, which isn't that crazy. It would take a lot to blow a car around, but it's got like 4 kites on it.
Yeah.
Like with the pontoons. Like you'd think that those things would just
Hey, the welds have held very well too.
we rushed big
They're
wrench
just
on that
literally
one.
just like hanging.
It's they're half welded on.
It's
So like
Yeah,
the,
it's
the arms.
debatably probably more strain on that
Yeah,
sitting up there than
than
it
the
was
wind.
in the water.
Yeah, you probably. Oh, I guess of the actual pontoon sitting there, but the cylinder that has like the pole, right? and then there has 4 arms that's going off of it. And it originally started that we were putting Ken's Bronco up there, and we only had like an hour to do it when Ken was running to town. So Big Wrench is up there welding these arms onto this cylinder, and we were like, dude, Big Wrench, you got 30 minutes left. You got 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
He's going to be here in 10 minutes, Big Wrench. And he's like, I can't weld these things completely all the way around. And we were like, just weld them half then. So those things are half welded on. Like each arm is half welded on, and it's still holding, obviously.
Yeah.
It's kind of a testament to Big Wrench welds right there.
It's
true.
Dude is good at what he does.
His subdivision of Big Wrench Builds is Big Wrench Welds.
Yeah. How was Texas?
Texas was great. It was hot. Texas isn't like as cool as maybe everyone makes it out. Like when we go to Florida, like Florida's awesome.
Yeah, it's just
every
more
time.
stuff there, I
Love
feel like.
Florida. But Texas is not as cool as everyone makes it
It's
out
just
to be.
the country.
I love the weather though.
Or not the country, but it's probably very similar to up here, just a little hotter.
Yeah. And honestly, like this is very conceited thing to complain about, but the cell phone service there is horrible. Is it just too big? Like we're like right outside of Dallas, and I have like one bar, and my phone's hardly working, and I'm like, it's just, that doesn't make sense to me.
Honestly, the whole trip, like we went to some of the same places as we did when we went down there for Rednecks with Paychecks. And that, I don't know, that was like a traumatic experience, I think, for us all. Rednecks with Paychecks was.
Yeah.
Like that.
That was pretty heavy.
But we were in the middle of nowhere too.
Yeah, and so like I think it just like brought back some of those Rednecks with Paychecks memories, and I just got the heebie-jeebies.
Really?
Like even down to the flight. You remember our flight out of there got delayed, and it was just like
We missed the flight, yeah.
I don't
whole
really
time-
like Dallas Airport either.
It just the whole time just gave me the heebie-jeebies.
But other than that, it was good. We went to this like super bougie like Galleria, like mall or whatever you want to call it, where everyone that's pulling up is legit like in a Urus or a G-Wagon or an Audi or whatever, like a ton of nice cars. And like all the stores, you'd walk up and then the security guard would go, just 2 at a time, please. Like that pissed me off. We go into Rolex, me, Ryan, Randy, and then they're like, only 2 at a time, please. I'm like, I'm with them. Come on. And they're like, only 2 at a time, please.
And they
I'm
go,
like,
whoa, you got an Apple Watch
and then,
on, but
and then-
they point towards the Apple store. I
then
think
they
you're over
see,
there.
that they're wearing Rolexes, and they compliment, oh, nice date just, nice whatever the you're wearing. And then they're like, what do you got? I'm like, just Apple Watch. And then he's like, nice. And so they send them in, and then I'm like, I see this sick watch in this display case. I'm like, all right, well, actually, this is sick. So I go to take a picture of it. No photos. No
Really?
photos. Yeah.
No
And I'm
photos?
like- and I go,
Holy shit.
How am I
What
supposed-
the fuck, dude?
And I'm like,
No photos?
yeah.
You guys trying to not sell anything?
So then I said, I was like, this is one I'm interested. So like, I kind of want a photo of it. And then he's like, sorry, man, no photos. And then I'm just like, all right, I'm leaving. So that
What the
was,
Mike's
fuck?
never going to buy a Rolex now.
So-
Those guys just screwed it up.
I just figured that Rolex would be like a little more forgiving. And I'm used to like in Vegas, they let everyone
They
in
let
in
you
Vegas.
fucking try it on in Vegas.
Right. So then we go into the Richard Mille store that had just opened. That
actually
was
sick.
insane. There was multiple rooms, multiple floors. They have a receptionist. They have like 10 people on duty. 4 watches in the entire store.
Yeah.
If you guys are or aren't familiar with them, they're like can be millions of dollars.
Yep.
4 watches in the entire store. They have like a pool table room. They had this like music room with $100,000 speakers. They had like a cigar patio. They had like a whiskey room. And then 4 watches. But if you think about it, they only have to sell like 1 watch to pay for their whole.
You're leaving out the best part. They had the full motion F1 simulator.
yeah.
Full motion racing seat, like Ferrari steering wheel. It was lit.
And it's in a watch store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
they-
you can't even fucking buy
No.
them there. I don't know. And like they're
You have
so
to order
attentive to you, and I'm like,
It's annoying.
I
don't
I
need
am
you.
not even in the realm of ever purchasing one of these stupid things, and you only have 4 here. Like,
Yeah, it
just
was
leave me
insane.
alone. Let me walk around and like.
It was insane. And then the lady like literally walking us, yep, this is this room. And you go, what else you guys want to check out? And we're like, we actually like don't need you.
Yeah.
Did you tell her that, Mike?
No. And then we went into the AP. I don't know how to Audemars.
Yep.
How do you say it?
Audemars Piguet.
Okay. We went in there. Those watches are very cool. Ryan tries one on. It's sick. And then he's like, so could I buy this? And they're like, nah, you got to buy a couple before you can buy this one.
I was like, oh, what the
It's
fuck?
like, okay. And that one, I think
I was like, this is the dumbest sham in the world, dude.
You got to buy these 2 if you want to buy
Yeah,
this.
she brings out just the most ugly fucking watch you've ever seen. She goes, if you buy this, it will help your chances getting the call for that. I go, are you? Like, how can you say that with a straight face,
Bro,
to me?
The watch industry is so weird because like you can't go into a authorized Rolex dealer and buy a Rolex. They're like, sorry, we don't have any for sale. But then you hear people that do, and they just lie straight to your face. And they're so good at it.
They're so good at
They're
it.
so good at it. And you're just like, well, put me on the lists. For sure, I'll get one if I'm on the list, right? And they're like, maybe. What do you mean, maybe?
Yeah, they're like, how about you go look at these necklaces or something, buy something else from us, and then you'll get one. I'm like, are you...
And that was the funniest part, was the watch they brought out that they were like, this is going to be where we would start you. You could buy this today. It was really ugly.
It was the ugliest
much was
fucking
it?
thing. It was like 65 grand. It was more expensive than the watch that I wanted.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
one-
was like, are you... This is insane.
Yeah.
It was a dumb sham.
Why
I
not
get...
just buy them off of? You can buy them off like a third party.
Yeah, that's what I'm
have to
doing.
pay more.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of getting in that line and then purchasing something similar to like a Porsche GT3 RS or a lot of Porsches. Once you get that allocation, you buy the watch and then immediately it's worth more money.
Yeah.
That's cool to me.
Some of them are. Like the last
some
like
of them aren't.
the last 5 years, like I'd say with COVID and social media, like they've really blown up the watch market, and watches have been like a really good investment. If you buy one new, like you get one through an authorized dealer, so you pay like basically like MSRP for it, it's immediately worth more. Yeah. But now it's kind of just like prices have kind of like came down, so like watch dealers can't really like schwank people kind of like how they were. But most of that shit doesn't make sense to like the common person that sits and thinks about it. Like, hold on now, so you're telling me that I can't even buy this thing that's overpriced? Like I have to be put on a list and then they tell me when I can buy it.
You have to buy
But
3 ones that you don't like just so you get a chance
It's like
at
a
buying
Ferrari.
the one you
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
care
Insane.
about.
Yeah.
Mike was funny though. He's sitting in there. He goes, "Where's the drift car store? I want to go there." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dude, if they had one, I would go to it."
Yeah. They're fun to go in, but like they're definitely not for me. Like I'm Money Mike, but in a different aspect.
yeah.
It's just like when we had to get in the Goyard. I didn't even know what a Goyard bag was, but you had to wait in line for people to exit the store before you could enter.
Bags are
What
kind of
is
the
the
same
point of
way,
that?
dude.
They had a bag there just for holding a bouquet of flowers that was $1,500. What the actual heck is that about?
Man, people just find good ways, bad ways to
Yeah.
spend dumb money.
I think like the craziest thing is when people are like balling out on like Louis Vuitton clothes. Like I think that's just like a kind of person, because it's not an investment. Like you can argue that a watch is like a luxury good that's a stupid thing to buy, right? But it's at the end of the day, it's an investment. Like my Rolex has doubled in value.
Really?
Doubled in value.
God damn, I bought a dumb one, I guess.
And
Mine ain't worth any more money. It's worth less.
I could sell it and make money right now. Or if it didn't double in value, I could sell it and get exactly what I paid for it. For most of the time when you buy a watch like that, right? But clothes, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I can't even imagine washing like a shirt like that. I'd be so worried.
Yeah.
Well, imagine you eating in it, CJ. You spill on everything that you own.
It wouldn't work. That's
No.
why I wear premium goods like this.
Thankfully, you have a clothing brand
Yeah.
because you can like get new shirts. Otherwise, you'd have a stain on every single shirt that you owned.
It happens all the time. I'll get done filming or whatever, and I look down at my shirt and I'll just throw it in the garbage and go home. Oh, yeah.
It's just got a,
Just
Doesn't
cooked.
it's
matter.
like a little
Like
pizza
one,
stain.
one
right there.
wear, yeah. Drop the pepperoni on it.
I don't know. When I was shopping for my tux or whatever, I bought a few other shirts that were way more money than I ever want to spend on a shirt, like $100 button-up shirt. But that's just because it's premium quality fabric. That's
And it
not,
actually
you're
fits
not
good?
paying $1,000. Yeah, and it actually fits good. You're not paying $1,000 just because it's a Louis Vuitton shirt.
Yeah, there's
you're
diminishing
paying
return
for
there.
nice quality fabric, and that's it.
I saw a guy in one of the fancy stores, and he had an entourage, and he was wearing the craziest. Like, I've never seen a real crazy rapper chain in real life. Like, all diamond out and whatever. And he had face tats. Like, I was like, they're the
Who is
only.
this guy?
Was it
I-
Lil Baby?
I have no fucking idea. But he had
Lil
like.
Baby? Dub Baby?
No, he was.
One of the
I don't know if
babies?
he was one of the babies.
Was
no.
he a Lil?
He might have been a Lil or a hyphenated, where they're like NBA or NYG or YNG.
Yep.
Anyway, he might have been in an abbreviation or something, but
Okay.
he was shopping and he left the store with like the largest bag I've ever seen of things. And he was like, give me that, give me that, give me that. A couple very large, scary fellas standing around him. But he didn't look famous.
What do you
He
mean?
just acted famous.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when people, like, you see them, there's a local guy around here, like Josh Duhamel, he looks famous. Like, you're like, damn, he has an aura to him. But that guy didn't look famous.
Imagine how bummed he is to hear that. He's like, oh man, I just spent 250 racks, huh? And I don't even look famous.
He acted famous, didn't look famous.
That's funny.
Good news, though, dude. North Dakota raised the speed limits to 80. We're going to be able to get places so much faster now.
That's
Dude, it's
dope.
crazy how much of a difference there is.
Whoa.
Wow, that's sick. And that's for the Viper?
Yeah.
Bro.
Let's go. That
Money
is
Mike.
sick.
I was stoked. And now no more getting pulled over for not being registered. I did get pulled over one more time since we talked about it last. The dude was super nice. It was actually for rolling a stop sign. And then he goes, how do you know Stanley, who was my grandpa? And I'm like, he was my grandpa. And then he's like, oh, I bought the house that he grew up in it, but I bought the house that he used to live in. So he gives me his card and he's like, if you ever want to go down memory lane, hit me up.
Wow.
I
That's so nice.
That worked out good for you.
dude. Yeah. I'm pretty stoked on these.
Money, Mike. That's lit.
Yeah.
Mike, nobody's got more vanity plates than you.
I
Every single
really
one.
do love vanity plates, which I don't even like that they're called that because it sounds fruity, but
Mike, did you see the Instagram story that I tagged you in?
yeah. I got tagged in that a bunch of times. There's like basically a Viper limo. It's got to be the only one ever made.
Yeah.
Because who's stupid enough to make two?
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
But is it still for sale or is it just like floating around?
I don't know, but you should find it.
This is
Dude,
ridiculous.
dude,
No.
think about wine night in
I know,
a Viper.
yeah, but just like to be very clear, I ain't buying that. I'd chuck in on it, but that would be a company purchase. Cause like,
Looked good as
screw
a
that.
It looked good as a
It
limo.
did. It didn't look like it looked so ridiculous that it was like, wow, Viper limo.
Imagine drifting that thing. Like, I got to assume it's got the power to drift. We'd need a bigger drift track
Yeah,
just to get it to swing out.
Dude, that's actually a sweet idea because we really haven't had a limo that could
Drift,
like
yeah.
slide. To actually see that thing doing a donut would be insane. It'd be like almost like a clock if you had a drone above it.
Yeah. You'd think it would have the power if the drive shaft is even half as strong as our limo, our F1 trillion or whatever truck. It'd be good.
Should we call Big Wrench right now and ask him if he thinks he can build a limo?
Yeah, do you think you could stretch out Mike's Viper big wrench?
After lunch, we're planning on filming.
Yeah, a little bit of fiberglass and some welding.
You think that'd be funny if you called him and go, Big Wrench, you think you can build a limo?
He'd say,
He'll say
"Yeah,
anything's possible. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Big Wrench.
Hey.
Hey, we're just sitting in a content planning meeting, and we're just throwing some ideas at the board. Do you think that it'd be possible to stretch Mike's Viper and make it into like a limo?
Depends on what you want it to look like.
You think it's possible though?
You think it's possible though?
Well, anything's possible.
How long you think it'd take?
Depends on what you want it to look like.
I don't know. I mean, the classic, like, good enough for a thumbnail.
Probably 3 weeks.
I was throwing the 2 out.
All right, sounds good.
We were just fucking with you, Big Wrench. We're on the podcast.
All right, okay, but
All right.
Dang, if he said 3 weeks for that, I'm curious if you would have just been like, how long would it take to make just a limo? He would have probably been like, yeah, we could just do that.
Dude, he did.
By Friday?
He
Yeah.
did ours in like a day. Our F1 trillion when we chopped the back off and then he just took the very end, welded it on, put the things in.
Gavin did
Gavin
that.
did
Oh,
that.
Gavin did that. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did that in like a day.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't have told him that we were joking, he'd hang up and just be like, "Oh fuck, I told him 3 weeks. How do
I gotta figure out how to make
Realistically,
that
I could probably get 4. Hopefully, they assume that 4 is a stretch and they could plan for 5.
I always thought too, like sometimes like Big Wrench, he's gonna like latch on to a project that he says, let's say, will take 3 weeks, and then he's gonna start coming up with like banger video ideas to fill in so that he can get more time on the build, which would be great.
Yeah, he goes, you guys should prank Ken or something
Yeah.
this week.
Here's the plan, and we're like, wow, Big Wrench, it's a great idea. He's like, nice, one more week to work on this build.
Like usually, they'll give us a timeline and we'll ask for shorter, and then we usually end up landing like on their timeline that they stretched to get to that point.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. It's very impressive.
Speaking of Ken pranks, Ken, did we talk at all about when Noah pranked you on the podcast yet?
On the podcast?
No.
I don't think so.
So anyways, we had our buddy Noah from Maverick Detailing. He came up, detailed all of our cars, but then like paint corrected both the Lamborghinis, like made them look probably better than when they pulled off the Lamborghini lot. But anyways, Ken hadn't seen him. Noah was in a different building, kind of in the back, using that as his detail spot. He'd been here for probably 2 days, and Ken was doing his own thing. And as he was at Zarba's one night, and we were pulling up, and I was like, all right, Noah, just wait like 5 minutes, walk in, kind of be looking around, and then when you see Ken, be like, Ken, and basically just do the whole fanboy thing, except just don't leave him alone. So like when you shake his hand, like keep holding it for as long as possible, and then like ask ridiculous things of him, like say like, hey, could we like go see your house, like could we go over to the boathouse and all these things, and Ken's like, no. Eventually Ken got like so weirded out, he like tried walking away, and Noah followed him. And then we never really corrected it.
As usual, you do a prank, think it's so funny, just leave the door open to it, continuing on.
Well, I
yeah,
felt like there was still a
obviously.
lot of opportunity left in it. You just left, Ken. You felt so
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
no,
You
I
left the bar. Ken left
I
early
hopped on
that
the boat
night.
and went home because
You
I was
literally-
like, this is so uncomfortable. He was asking way too creepy a questions, just was being way
It's
too
so
close,
funny.
and I was like, I got to get out of here.
All the locals too were just like, wow, this kid is fucking nuts. Dude, because like they didn't know it was a prank either. But then like Noah didn't want anything to do with me. I told him like if I go up to talk to you, be like, yeah, no, I'm talking to Ken. Which made it really funny too. 2 days later, when we're eating lunch, we had Noah pull up and like basically walk into the shop and be like, hey, I'm looking for Ken. Ken's eyes were like,
What is he doing here?
yeah, he was so
And again, singles you out, and it's just like there's a bunch of cars in the parking lot, and he's just like, Ken, I gotta check out the Tesla. And then he's like, can I sit in it? And then he's like, let's go for a drive.
At what
Just a
point
quick
did
drive?
At what point did you realize it was a prank?
After I left the bar that night, I was like, is this the detail kid you put him up
Yeah,
for a
you
prank?
called me. I was like, no.
Immediately I called you out on that, and you're like, no, I don't know who that was. Asked Dalton the same thing. I picked up a little bit on Dalton because Dalton he was just waking up, and he had to like jog his memory of, oh, that was a prank. He kind of stumbled a second, and then I kept asking, are you Noah? Are you the kid detailing the cars? And then
you Noah?
And then he kept just
Shakes
going
him.
out on this prank, and I was like, God, this is so uncomfortable.
I was just curious what your thoughts were.
So you guys took him golfing. He broke my golf clubs, and he didn't even detail any of my cars.
Yeah. So after he got done with like,
Ken really got the shit out of
Got the
this
shit end out of that whole deal.
you did.
pranked, no detailed cars, and broken golf club.
Yeah, we went golfing a couple days later, and Ken and Noah had this rocky past. Well, we were going golfing, and we are like, "No, you want to come?" And he was like, "Sure, yeah. Can I use like someone's clubs?" And I think he just asked Ken, "Can I use your clubs?" What's Ken gonna say no to this kid? He's a nice guy.
It seemed like Noah was a golfer.
It seemed like he was.
He striked me as like
I thought he
Yeah, I
was.
thought he was.
golfer.
So we show up to the first tee, right? And he tees his ball up like 4 inches off the ground. And if you're not a golfer,
Where's this guy getting his tees at?
if you're not a golfer, like the head of the driver is like, say, 2.5 inches tall, right? So this ball is floating above where you would like sweep it off. So I'm watching it because I just want to see what happens. He, sure enough, just sweeps the tee out from underneath it, and the ball goes up in the air like 20 feet and then comes down like 14 feet in front of us, right? And I was like, who would have seen that coming, right? And then the next hole, he does the same thing. He
But
tees
you
it up.
called him out. You go, why are you teeing it up so high?
I go,
Tee it
bro,
up.
why are you teeing it
And
up
he's
that
like,
high?
This is how I do it. And you're like, oh, whatever. Just do it the way you do it then. Let me see you hit it. And then he goes to hit, breaks Ken's
his
club.
driver.
Yeah, he hits the shaft because the ball was
Dang.
so high up. He just hit the shaft on the ball and it just shattered it.
New driver.
It was the clubs I bought like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and so the driver head just flies off. The driver head went farther than the ball.
I hadn't seen that since Mike back in 2019.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was honestly kind of refreshing to see because like
Myself
now
and-
all my friends are getting better at golf. It's not as funny.
You don't see it as
But
much
that
anymore.
one, I was like, oh shit! And then Noah goes, oh fuck, this is Ken's club.
Yeah.
But this is Ken's driver, and I was like, oh, of course it is.
Did you get a new one?
Well, CJ got a new driver, and then we had the same set of clubs. I just got CJ's.
And mine was actually used less than Ken, so technically you got a newer driver out of the deal.
Speaking of asking Ken for things, Ken, maybe could you do me a huge favor? Could I drive your Lincoln after I get married?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you
like
sure about this, Mike?
I'm positive.
It might not start.
You can whip the Viper whenever you want.
Okay.
You know what's funny, Mike? Is Greta was like, you should buy an old car that we can like drive off in. And I was like, buy an old car? I was like, this is the first time you've ever been even interested in cars. And I was like, I don't know about that. And then I was like, oh, Ken's got an old car that we could probably use. And then she was like, oh, do you think we could take like our proposal photos in Ken's car? And I was like, oh, I'm sure he wouldn't mind, but Ken's car is just getting hoed out to all of his buddies now.
Dude, is that thing running all right now?
Oh, it runs perfect.
Oh,
Gavin.
then you're good.
Great.
The only thing that was wrong with it was the window
Window.
switch was broken. Gavin just got that put in yesterday.
Dude, Ken's seeing dollar signs right now. Wedding rentals is like the most big thing ever.
The white's a nice touch for it.
You know, the thing with wedding rentals is they just double the price.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if Ken would have owned it when I took engagement photos, I definitely would have. Sydney was saying the same thing. Well, you got to get an old car. I'm like, well, I actually was struggling. I couldn't find anybody with an old car or an old boat.
Like, I kind of was about this ring that was expensive.
But yeah, it literally is a perfect car.
I actually drove
Don't try
by.
to put the top up and it's fine.
I won't.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want the top up anyway.
It'll probably get driven about 5 miles.
I actually drove by where another notable Lincoln Continental moment happened in Dallas. I didn't know it was in Dallas.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, we were just driving by. There's a big pillar. I go, what's up with that pillar? I go, that's where JFK got shot.
Wow.
I
That
was
was
like,
probably
damn.
pretty cool to see. Like, be
Yeah,
there.
it was actually
It's
eerie
like a
it's
huge part in American history.
yeah, and then there's the building on the 5th floor, I believe, and yeah, it was
The building's
cool.
still there.
Yeah, it was
guys-
pretty cool.
Do you guys think JFK was an inside job
CIA
through the
did it.
government? You think the CIA did it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the government did it too.
I'm more on that side than thinking it was random. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things about it that just don't add up.
If being friends with you guys has taught me anything, is there's always a connection to a weird
yeah.
situation. Somebody's always behind it.
Dude, speaking of somebody's behind it, Jake Sherbrooke came on and made like a freaking hate video on his YouTube video, like
funny.
basically just saying like Ben was the catalyst of this fight. And it's like if you watched the YouTube video of Jake fighting Gavin, it wasn't that hard to put together that Gavin wanted to fight him. I presented him with the opportunity, right? Hey, I'm going to do what a good promoter does, right? I'm going to put the fights together that the people want to see. I didn't feel like it needed to be said. And Jake trying to just fuck me over and have the people turn against me.
So people are turning on you?
I mean, there's the comments that are just like, yeah, little weasel, like trying to
you're a
just make
little
something.
weasel.
I'm like, oh, God forbid I try and make a goddamn YouTube video for you guys. To be fair, I thought that Gavin won. He said that somebody needs to beat his ass, and I gave him the opportunities to try.
He had been talking about it because if you go back on Instagram over a year prior to that moment, they had posted a picture of each other in Zorba saying that they were going to like box each other. Granted, it was more for like play then. There wasn't animosity. So they were already planning, like they had wanted to do a boxing match just for fun. This just had much more reason behind it, obviously, and also more of a payoff.
We also told Gavin, like, all right, when the cameras are off, all right, if you don't want to do this, you don't actually have to do this. And he was like, no, I want to do this.
Yeah, he did.
He's pretty adamant on it.
Personally speaking, do I think that it should have ended up in a boxing match? Probably not. But we're YouTubers. Like, are you mad that like we set up
it
a
was
fun
great.
boxing fight?
It was great.
Like, if there's anything I know about YouTubers and boxing, is that everyone loves YouTubers and boxing.
Dude, I thought that was one of the
So-
best
It was
segments
so
we've
funny.
posted. I mean, I say that a lot though, but that was one of my favorites that we've done in a while, and might be like it just was so funny, and it was just put right on our lap.
It was great. It definitely was like intriguing seeing it in person. Like I've never really considered it, but it made me consider it.
Fighting?
Just like, just
Boxing?
like what it would be like to actually take the punches. Like you can hit the bag. Like I mean, in Jake's case, you can train. He's been hitting the bag, but like,
But that bag doesn't hit back.
exactly. Like to get punched in the face is just a whole new realm.
Do you think it might have had something to do with saying that Jake is loyal to nobody?
Yeah,
And maybe some of your other comments that maybe can be contributing to his angst?
Oh, God forbid I promote my own guy.
yeah, we might have gone a little hard on Jake.
I messaged Jake and I was like, all right, what you said did have some truth to it. And I'm sorry if you because he got some backlash of people being like,
Yeah.
it's fucked up with him stealing Gavin's girl.
But also,
Oh.
Gavin got backlash too.
And Gavin got backlash of like, it wasn't his girl to begin with. And I did tell Jake, I was just like, it's all good, bro. Like, our side was just for jokes, and him coming on, he was just kind of defending his angle of, like, I didn't actually steal Gavin's girl kind of as much as maybe it looked like.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was funny. I laughed the whole time through. Granted, I mean, they were calling you a weasel, but I thought it was kind of funny.
I was like, it's all good.
Yeah.
I deserve this.
Jake is actually a very loyal friend. Like, if I called him right now, he'd pick up. We just like cracking the jokes at.
He's just from the
That's
south
his
side of
idea of
Cormorant, you know? It's just they're different over there.
Yeah, 100 yards that way. Totally different.
It's important of you to say, like, we're straight up just no beef with Jake. I can't speak on Gavin's behalf, but I was just with Jake last night. He showed up with that girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're still going.
Yeah, we're going to Mike's bachelor party.
Dude, it was
This
actually
week.
on the screen. Lake Powell was on the screen
Really?
in the screensaver thing. I'm so excited.
We're so
Yeah,
excited.
it's going to be lit.
It's going to be insane, dude. And Ryan just sent the weather, and it's just 98, 98, 98, 100, 98, 98.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
sunny.
gonna be
How long are we
toasty.
going to be there for again? So we leave
couple
Thursday
days.
and then we come back Sunday?
Correct.
Nice.
So we really don't
perfect.
get much time on Sunday. It'll kind of just be waking up
Traveling.
and leaving, which is your birthday, right?
Monday is.
Monday's your birthday.
Yeah, Mike.
But yeah, we have freaking Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday. I'm working on a couple different projects. It's going to be
Jeez,
cool.
as if
Really?
you haven't seriously done enough, Ryan.
This boat's got AC, right?
This boat does have AC. I am concerned we've added a number of people to the list. It might be tight on the boat.
when
How
they
many more
said-
people do we had?
Well, I think we added Cody, and then I think we'd missed like one or two more. So I think we're just up to like 15 people, plus the two people hosting us, plus the chef.
But
It's a big boat, but
when
18
you had
people.
mentioned that they say that people and maybe even encourage it, like you can kind of just sleep under the stars because it's just so nice and there's not many bugs. That was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, we got all these people. It's like, well, you just got to sleep.
You sleeping on-
a air mattress?
Yeah. Are they beds or?
They've got a bunch of staterooms, which is what you call a bed on a boat, but they got rooms, and then they'll have overflow bedding.
So where's
We'll
it
be
parked? Just out in the middle?
Yeah, we're just going out into the backcountry of Lake Powell, basically.
That's sick. That's so sick. How big is this boat?
It's 80 feet long by like 12 feet wide. Pretty
12
fucking big. It's
Yeah.
a big boat.
12
Yeah.
feet wide.
That
is
doesn't
not
seem
wide.
that wide.
Maybe it's wider than
The
that.
length is right. I bet it's 24
20
feet wide.
They
Yeah,
were
like
actually just
Titanic.
telling me that there was a giant windstorm that came up, and the boat broke loose and crashed into the rocks and almost sank.
Oh,
The boat we're hopping on?
Yeah, but they fixed it.
Oh, is
Wow.
that the one that had like the waterfall coming down on it?
No, they parked in a better place than that, but apparently it was windier. But yes, something like that.
That's so
Jeez,
sick.
dude.
So is there like jet skis and stuff attached to this thing?
We got jet skis, stand-ups. They just got to deal with Centurions. So there's a bunch of Centurions. There's going to be a Pavati there. Heavy D's bringing his barge, his Blackhawk barge.
Heavy D's coming?
Heavy D's coming. He just
Yeah, I
was
mean,
like,
that's
yeah,
already-
I hear there's a party in Lake Powell. We're just going to, they're filming there and whatever. So
That's lit.
Bro, this is sick.
yeah. So they have their own houseboat and whatever. They don't really have to be a part of our party if however much we want them to, but they're bringing their barge. We're working on a couple nighttime surprises. But I'm really excited. We're going to have a fire on that barge
so
out
sick.
in the middle of the lake.
Dude, this is so
It's
sick.
going to be so
I didn't
cool.
know any of this.
dude.
This is so sick.
I know Evan would scoff at me, but like, I don't know if I want to drink.
I was wondering, Mike.
I've kept saying
you've been
that I was
sober for
gonna.
the what, 6 months, 9 months?
Yeah, a little
hard
over
to break.
6 now. And like, I kept saying that I was gonna, because everyone kept asking, well, you're gonna do it on your bachelor party or something, right? And I'm like, yeah. But then I feel, I don't know. I am in a dilemma.
I wouldn't be mad if you didn't drink.
I just like, we have 2.5 days of jam-packed fun, and I want to like be present for all of it. Mm-hmm. If I do, I just want it to be like 6 beers and then call it. I don't want to do shots. I don't want to like catch a nasty hangover.
Right.
Yeah.
But I genuinely don't.
I think
know if I want
if
to.
you want to stay sober, like post bachelor party, I would probably keep staying sober because it's easier. If you break the trend, it's going to be a lot easier in the future.
I'll feel it out.
I would do what you want. I wouldn't do it based off of somebody else
Right.
in your corner wants you to stay sober. I would do it off of
Right.
what
No,
you feel.
And I'm not really doing it for like, it's not like I'm getting like tokens at the AA meetings or anything that says 6 months. I don't really care about that, but I want to take it all in. So we'll feel it out.
Luckily, we're doing something that is like, it's going to be so fun. you don't need alcohol to have a good time, right? It'd be one thing if you were going somewhere that was obviously not jam packed with a bunch of like action sport type things. But I think this is gonna be sweet. Also, the Mormons don't drink, Mike, and we're gonna be surrounded by Mormons. So
True.
there you go.
Yeah, so
that makes it easier.
Yeah.
I'm excited though.
It's gonna be so sick.
It's gonna be fun.
Whenever we do stuff like this, some great content comes out of it. Maybe it's too YouTuber of me to think, but that's what I'm most excited about it.
Dude, me and Ken freaking haven't been good since. We haven't been good
And
since.
you'll never be good again.
We'll never be good again. No, at Justin's bachelor party. That was the last bachelor party that we had.
Yeah, it was.
2021.
Ryan facilitated that one too. You did a great job on that, Ryan. Didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. Went to Eagle River, Wisconsin. Ended up being like the absolute most all-time weekend of our lives. Where like 5 years later, we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
That was so
exactly.
fun.
So that's what I like to think. We'll probably be talking about this one forever too.
I've been trying to think like, what do I do for my bachelor party? I think it's like so expected to like go to Vegas, and if we go to Vegas, like we gotta like do it big, because we go to Vegas all the time, right? But this time is like,
I got it. We bring our golf clubs with.
Whoa!
Okay, actually,
that actually,
Yes,
That
yeah.
would be fun though.
bring our golf clubs wherever it is. Sorry to change subjects off of you. When Ken ever gets married, let's do that shit in space.
Dude, you already know Ken's hopping on
That-
fucking
that's
Elon's.
going to space. That's more of a Money Mike move than a me move.
Okay,
but-
okay.
Actually, Ken, yeah, I know you've got, a couple boxes to check before your bachelor party, but if you could do a bachelor party right now, what would you do?
Probably Cabo.
Nice, classic, love it.
I love that idea. Sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We should probably like do one of those fake YouTuber weddings. When like Jake Paul, man, married Tana Mojo or
Ken
whatever her
getting-
name is.
Ken getting fake married for YouTube would be top tier.
Who's a YouTuber that we could have you
Fake Mary.
so do everything but sign the paper?
Sophie Rain.
Like Amelia Hartford.
I could do Amelia.
What about Sophie Rain, Ken? You know who she is?
I actually don't know who that is.
Look her up. She happens to follow CboysTV. But I think it could happen, Ken.
I personally do not, but sorry.
Sophie Rain
Come on
and
now.
Ken Matthews get married in Cabo. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Some context. Sophie Rain is like the highest earning OF creator. I don't know if you can say it,
Yeah.
but
I think that's probably why she follows us, just because of the car content. She's probably trying to figure out what to buy with all her money.
What do you
That's the
think?
only thing-
I might have to investigate that a little more, but yeah.
There you go.
okay.
Dude, I think we speak that into the world. Sophie Rain, Ken Matthews, 2026 Cabo.
We don't want that though, because if Ken married her, like he would
He'd
leave
quit.
us so fast.
Fuck, you're
Dude,
right.
she made $50 million last year.
You could add a second
Yeah.
story to your boathouse.
Fucking maybe even not just the second boathouse.
Yeah, Ken
That
would be
is
like,
insane.
I'm done filming with you guys, having you fucking do these pranks on me. I don't need any of this anymore.
And all of us would say, damn it.
Yeah, we kind of played ourselves there.
Yeah.
And then you say, if you're looking for me, you can find me at Zorba's.
Ken, you could buy all of the Zorbas.
You buy a ton.
Dude, you can buy all the houses on the
I,
lake.
I didn't realize hands like you hear some numbers, but like it's
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
Doesn't
Ken's
even
gonna be
seem
in
like real
a
money.
Ken's gonna be in a Spider-Man morph suit too. Sorry.
I got it. What the fuck, Mike? I hope not. That would be the opposite.
I know. That'd be really weird
Holy
if
shit.
he was.
Holy shit. The sketch thing?
Oh, I thought you were talking
No.
about just all the
Oh,
girls wear it.
Just what Sophie Rain wears, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, what the fuck? We're on totally
CJ.
different pages.
Oh, Brian just showed up to hash out this limo bill.
you were in a meeting.
No,
No,
we're
no,
totally
no. Sorry, Big
playing a
Ranch.
prank on you at the pod.
Sorry, Big Ranch.
Big Ranch can build anything.
Stretched out Miata?
Not as long as a normal stretch limo. Just those Lincoln ones that are just like
like a 4-door meal.
Nah, I think you want to go the long
no,
way.
like 6-door length with 4 doors.
Hear me out. What if you drove it from the back instead of up in the front?
Oh,
You were
my.
way in the back.
You eating today?
No, probably not.
Why? Why no food today, huh?
I eat at night.
All right. I was just curious why you were over here.
I thought you were in a meeting.
Yeah, Jen's down there with enchiladas, so
She is?
yeah. So Jen obviously makes us food every day. Big Ranch will like come and be there, but we'll be like, "Hey, you grabbing a plate?" And he's like, "Ah, no, I'm not eating. I'm good." And he always just says no because he only eats 1 meal a day, which is pretty cool.
I'm on a pretty similar regimen.
Really?
Yeah.
1 meal.
Ever since we started this channel, like, yeah, of course I'll eat breakfast if it's there. I'll eat lunch, obviously it is there. But like, yeah, I eat once.
So you started YouTubing 8.5 years ago?
9 years ago?
I mean, not obviously like 9 years ago, but like once we were like self-employed, it just became. And I really notice it when our girlfriends hang around more, or when we have lots of visitors. They're like, "When are we gonna eat?" Before Jen came, obviously, they're like, "When are we gonna eat?" And I'm just like, "Oh, dude, sorry, yeah, I don't know, probably like 5." And they're like, "I haven't eaten today." I'm like, "Neither have I."
Well, it used to be like pretty inconvenient for us to eat because we don't have a kitchen at our shop. It's just a stove,
Makeshift.
right? It's like across the room too, right? So like we would like go out to eat, right? But it's like
If you had time.
yeah, if you had time, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to go out to eat, you know, because it takes like an hour, chalk up an hour and a half, and we've just been running that for the last like 9 years, right? So you kind of get sick of the 3 places that you have to eat around here.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about that the other day, like just how unhealthy I used to be, where now I'm probably like dealing with some of the consequences of my previous actions of just like running just a terrible diet solely because like one, didn't have any money to go like out to eat for the first like 5 years, and then after that you don't really have any time and it's kind of inconvenient. So very happy now that we have a better eating situation. I think it works out a lot better for all of us.
Oh, it's incredible. Just everyone in the same place at the same time every day. It's the best.
Yep.
Before that though, we were also eating a lot of like freezer food. Like if
A lot of freezer
it is so like if you go way back, we weren't going out to eat that much because we just didn't really have that
Right.
much excess funds for that.
Dude,
so
just
you were just eating like
The worst.
freezer burritos or frozen
Lots
pizzas.
of
So much
freezer
ramen too.
Yeah, ramen noodles.
So much ramen.
Yeah.
Mac
That
and
is
cheese,
crazy.
Hot
dogs,
Pockets.
God, you're making me
Pockets,
hungry right now.
Pizza rolls.
Gosh, dude, yeah, I had like 2 frozen burritos a day. It was like strictly frozen food. And then when I got hungry again later, like when I was living at the shop, it's more frozen
Yeah,
food.
that's
And then
how
if
it
I
was.
needed a midnight snack, legit more frozen food.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
But we had that freezer just packed, man.
When we went grocery shopping, I remember that was really cool. Like, hey, like I bought groceries for a stint and I had the company card and it was just like just strictly frozen food.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as
Some
like
juice,
maybe
cereal.
some eggs, but lots.
Egg-
Remember
Eggo
every
waffles.
time you open up that freezer, like a Hot Pocket would fall out.
Yeah.
Because it was so jam packed.
Stuffed up in there.
I kind of miss the days back in our very first shop. That was fun. I mean, I don't want to go back, but
There
Good
was
times.
something
Good
about
times.
all of us being jammed in the little living room.
that's fun.
Yeah, that
was
really
just
fun.
living room / one desk office. Like we had one desk. I eventually got my own desk over in the corner there, and that was all we had.
Yeah, we had a desk. It's actually still behind Ken. You probably can't see it there, but there's a computer on it. That desk used to like wrap around. We got it from like
Auction.
an auction. Some business was going out of business,
15
and
bucks.
yeah, we paid. I thought it was
16
17.
It was 16.
16
Wow.
bucks, yeah,
Specific.
for that desk.
That's a hell of a deal.
Still rehabbed over there. I
Such
just had to
an
put
odd
tape on
number.
it the other day.
Such
So you
an
hold it
odd
together.
number to
That-
sell that
you
for.
know, it's
16 bucks.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
just what it was bid to.
Well, I'll tell you this much: it was a pain in the ass to get around. It's a
Solid.
heavy ass desk.
Dude, you know what's sad? Like, the desk is just doing great. It's years old. It was super cheap. We got it used. The MacBook that we had on there, it's old now. It's like, what, 5 years old? I don't know. The MacBook we have on
iMac.
there, iMac, the big screen one, was 5+ G's. Is just a giant paperweight now.
It
Yeah.
just died.
Yeah, actually.
Bricked.
2019.
I don't really
Before we
know.
got it.
Maybe someone could let us know, like, who on earth repairs something like that, because I think it shouldn't be a paperweight. But yeah, $5,000+ computer just bricked.
It's crazy how computers just have a lifespan.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
they just.
they just do.
It's almost by design though. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
Apple
yeah.
Apple just like
Yeah.
I think they got sued for it.
Yeah, they did.
yeah,
Sydney-
with iPhones.
Sydney
right?
whipped out her iPad for the flight the other day to load it up, and legit couldn't do anything on it. So I do believe that they kind
How
of.
old's that iPad?
It's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
but-
It is pretty old.
yeah.
I just updated to like the beta, the new iOS, because I've been seeing so much stuff about it on TikTok. And my phone straight up runs like it's 1996 now.
Really?
Like I'm burning through battery. I'm at 60% already, and it's 1 o'clock. And like
Wow.
everything's glitching. I can't screenshot anymore. And I get it, part of the beta program. You know, you're not expecting to get like the perfect thing, but my phone is like damn near useless. What-
Yeah, if
what
you
are we
just
at
don't
now?
update your phone,
It's a lot better.
It seems to run better. Yeah,
This is a
Seem to
16 Pro
last longer.
Max. I got 30,000 pictures on this thing.
I have 50.
Oh,
Is that insane, dude?
You little diddler pictures that you taking over there.
Yeah. Yeah, but that takes up like a very small amount. Yeah.
Data, so that's how you get so many on
Yeah.
there.
As like a non-tangible object, or maybe like people in my life, like you guys, my parents, Sydney, I think my camera roll is like my most valuable possession.
Yeah, dude.
I just
Gotta
like,
back that shit up, man.
Yeah, it is. I love everything in my camera roll.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I got a new phone. and
Wait. Sorry, I have an insane story. So last night, Ken, myself, and CJ bought a house on Pelican. CJ did buy it from us, and so I'm there.
Oh, really? Congrats.
Yeah,
Thank you.
big
Oh,
nice,
congrats.
boys.
It's awesome, and we put a lot of money into it now. It's a beautiful house.
You're about to see another era of Money Mike. He's about to go on a
got his
spending
check,
spree.
dude.
Money Mike's got some money in his pocket.
I know, I do.
He's got more money in his
All
pocket.
right. So the other funny thing was like I just came there to grab like whatever I could, and then CJ just starts moving everything out of the closet, and I just go, "Yo, bro, didn't bring a U-Haul," so and then he's like, "Oh, that's fine. We can just take all the stuff to the shop." And then I was like, "Whatever." I didn't really want all of it at the shop. It worked out just fine. But we're moving this dresser, and I was like, I'll give it to Spenny. Spenny's living at the farm now, and the drawer falls out of the dresser, and I see what looks like crumpled up women's underwear. And I've never seen it in my life. I promise. I've never seen it in my life. So I put the drawer back in. Didn't say anything.
Didn't even
to
want to
CJ,
look at it.
Didn't even want to look at it. I'm like, what is that? Whatever. I'll deal with it when I get to the shop. So I take this dresser down, and I pull a pair of underwear from behind this drawer, like huge granny panties, like huge Hanes women's underwear. Big,
And they're
big,
poop
big.
stained?
I don't know about poop stain, but just blowed out. The
Okay.
entire front of the crotch to the back.
Where you
Blowed
going
out.
with this, Mike?
Sake the story, I don't know.
Okay.
So then I grab another pair. Same huge underwear, blowed out. Then I grab another pair. Huge underwear, same brand, Hanes, blowed out.
Wait, all stuck in the back?
Yes.
Did you
Are they-
buy this thing like used, or where'd you find this thing at?
I can't remember where I got it, but I did not get it new. So they could have been in there from the start. Back in the day, we've had lots of parties there. People have stayed in that room.
Yeah.
You know, we have lake days. People go in there and change. So one pair of underwear blowed out. You're like, dang, someone must have had a bad day. But then I go for the fourth pair. Huge underwear, blowed out.
Shit stained and everything.
Yeah, like shit and everything else that could come out of you. So I only took one picture because they were so disgusting. But
So
I had to,
are you
like,
sure they're men?
Oh my God.
Am I
Oh my
on, let me see.
goodness
Let me
gracious.
see. Hey, let me see. Let me see.
CJ, am I sure they're men's? No, I'm
What?
sure they're women's.
What?
I'm sure
What?
they're women's.
Wait, hold on.
How?
Well, how am I sure they're women's?
Who the fuck was staying over there?
Dude, I don't know. And they, like I said, they could have been in the dresser from before.
I bet Gavin spent a couple nights
Dude.
down there, didn't he?
Three-wheeler Gav, he stayed
He
for a
did.
little while.
He did
Yeah,
stay in there a few
that
nights.
checks out.
We've had a lot of parties there, and we've had a lot of
A
people
lot of people stay, 'cause
stay
I'm,
over.
I'm not there.
You were always like, yeah, you can stay in my room.
Yeah. The moral of the story, I guess, is again, one blowed out giant pair of granny panties. Someone had a bad day. But four?
Then to save
Stay in
them?
there for a week.
Four? Yeah,
Hold on, Rich stayed there.
He did.
not to just
I mean,
crumple
you
them up
could-
and bury
Glenn
them in the
stayed there.
backyard. Those are the type of underwear that need to be buried or
Bro,
burned.
you would put those somewhere other than hide them in the back.
Yeah.
Just put them in the dumpster.
Dude,
at the
I
very
legit
least.
like barely touched them, and my fingers got like sticky, like I had like glue on them.
Bro, you
I
had your
ha-
clothes
I
in there
washed
and you
them.
were taking stuff
Yeah.
out of there for years.
I know. And luckily, like they didn't smell. Obviously, I wasn't like,
So they were clean?
no, they weren't clean. Did they look clean?
They might just be permanent.
Just
Mike,
seriously.
I think those might have actually just came with your dresser.
That's making more sense to
Honestly,
me.
I hope that's the case because then we don't have to worry about any blowed out underwear happening at our house.
Not to throw Jake under the bus either, but Jake stayed there
A lot
a couple
of
nights
dude, a
in your
lot
bed.
of people stayed in that room. A lot of people.
All four have just a distinct poop stain. Like I was expecting like a pair of like pretty gross looking underwear,
It's
but
like unreal.
like those are those
It's
are
almost
How
not.
is this real?
It's almost like that was part of the underwear design. At
Like,
that
are
point.
you sure this wasn't like wherever you bought this from? They're like, let's fuck with this guy and dip this part in mud.
No.
These are way too old. Like, I don't think
No,
any
and
female
that's-
would be wearing these
that's
in the
actually-
last 10 years.
That's what Sydney said too. She said, I think those existed in the dresser from before because they're ancient underwear.
Yeah, they're old. Like, I mean, granted, you know, some of our friends have taken down some big girls, but
What are you doing with these now,
I
Mike?
feel like they're pretty
They're in the
stylish.
garbage.
We might need to burn our garbage.
They're buried in the garbage now. I threw a couple pairs of my own on top of it. Anyway, like
That's actually
it's a weird
really
time.
funny.
Yeah, like when you're
is
packing up
crazy.
your dresser and you find 4 XXXL women's underwear blowed out.
Wow, Mike, where that story was going, I did not expect that.
I feel very confident those came with the dresser.
Same. That's what I'm going.
They're
with.
just too old.
Yeah.
Also, it just seems fake. Are you sure they didn't just fuck with this
See,
guy's
that,
buying a
to
used
me,
dresser?
That
Let's put
seems
some.
insane.
It would be something you two would do, but I don't know if anybody else would do
That's
it.
for the love of the
For
game.
the love
You
of the
don't
game
even
right
know
there.
who you're pranking,
And you
or
don't even get to see the
aftermath.
reaction, yeah.
But here's what we do know is that the same person did all 4 of those.
That's true.
So that's the crazy part.
Where'd you get that dresser?
I can't remember. Sydney goes, I will not rest until you find out where you got that dresser from.
Dude,
It
does
might
that
be
kind
in
of make
another
you feel
room.
dirty? Like
Yeah,
I
a little bit.
thought back to this and be like, oh shit, I've
what is it?
worn a t-shirt out of that dresser.
Yeah, I'm burning it, by the way.
Are you?
The dresser? Yeah. I don't
I
even
We
really
should
know.
hit it with the school bus after this. Where is it?
Sure. It's just in the farm at the
You
farm.
could just
All right, let's hit it.
yeah.
And on that note, let's go eat some enchiladas.
Yeah.
All right, sounds
Yo,
good.
whoever was wearing those had enchilada night.
You already know.
It's
Yeah.
what happened.
Don't forget, this
Hey.
is the last week of our
Yep.
Lambo giveaway, so get
Yep.
entered at CboysTV.com.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
$5 you spend gets you one entry, and you get your choice between a Lamborghini Huracan or a Lamborghini Urus, and $25,000 cash. So
Yep. We got new golf polos on there, new hats. We have some jerseys.
I love the
Bunch of
jerseys.
stuff.
Yeah.
Bunch
Bunch
of
of stuff
great
for
stuff.
the end of the drop. So ramp it up, boys and girls. We'll see you next week.
Thank you guys so much.
Peace.